I'm really excited to tell you about my favorite memory of the Amadeus Choir. It was way back about 8 years ago when we sang the Fauré Requiem with the Toronto Symphony. And it was really an incredible performance and an incredible process getting ready, because we had this incredible French conductor, Stéphane Deneuve, that came as a guest, and he was incredibly picky and musical. In fact, he was intensely musical, and I just loved working with him because he really worked diligently at getting this amazing sound, and it was in so many different colors in the sound. And the preparation was really exciting, and the performance was amazing because we had him as a great conductor, we had the Great Toronto Symphony, and we had Karina Gauvin do the soprano solos, and Russell Braun sang the baritone solos. So it will always be etched in my memory as this most incredible musical experience.
One of my memorable things was going out to Drumheller with the Amadeus Choir when we were on our 2000 tour to Podium 2000, and we were at the Royal Tyrrell Dinosaur Museum, and that is right in Drumheller, with the fabulous all of those buttes and things, and we did a concert just outside, and it was so hot. And what I remember most is we would start to sing, and it was incredible. I mean, we were just outside. There was no stage. There was no microphones. There was no technology at all. We were just singing. And when we opened our mouths and sang, there was this, it was like being in the Colosseum in Rome. There was this fabulous sound bounced back at us because the acoustics were so amazing.
My connection to Amadeus run really, really deep because I started off singing in Bach Children's Chorus, so there was the collaborations that they used to do with Amadeus all the time, and one of my elementary school teachers actually sang tenor in Amadeus, so I was lucky enough to come to a few of the concerts at the Ford Center. And back in 2005, I was part of Ontario Youth Choir with Lydia at the helm, and I asked if there are any spots available in Amadeus on the last day of the camp, and she said yes, and they'd love to have me audition. So came the very first rehearsal, auditioned, and the rest is pretty much history. Yeah, my favorite music moment in Amadeus definitely has to be being able to do Homeward Bound and Barrett's Privateers at Celtics.
Back in 2016, I was approached by Lydia Adams, our then conductor, about singing for her Love Notes concert as a soloist. I hadn't yet joined the Amadeus Choir. Myself and my husband, who's a bass player, and our good friend on drums and another good friend on piano, put together some beautiful, of course, Valentine's Day kinds of songs, all about love and hearts and blah, 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 blah. In June of that year, my good friend Joan Andrews, who is a member of the choir, said, "Sharon, why don't you audition for the Amadeus Choir?" And I said, "Oh, I'm a terrible sight reader. I'm so scared. I get so nervous." She said, "Oh, everybody gets nervous. Just go for it." And luckily, I got in. And what else can I tell you? The rest is history. I love being part of this wonderful choir. It's a privilege and an honor, and I'm so excited to be celebrating once again 50th anniversary. Yay!
My best memory is in my first year, last year, I attended my first Celtic event. That was just an amazing event full of community members and our own members coming together, and I will never forget it.
My name's Alison Roy, and I've been in the choir for on and off maybe 20 years. I have a lot of great memories. One of the best is being on tour. We went to Alberta, and we've also been to Nova Scotia. And I loved the way Lydia always conducted Bach B minor. You could see that it was one of her favorite pieces. She loved it, and she had all of the nuances, and she knew where. It was just gorgeous to sing it with her. And also in Alberta, we sang outside in the Badlands, and the acoustic was, the amphitheater was the rock itself, and that was amazing. One of my great memories as a soloist is singing Lydia's arrangement of Celtic Suite and I sang a beautiful piece called My Love is Like a Red, Red Rose, and it was a song that my grandfather stood on the banks of Cape Breton and sang across to Scotland to his wife who hadn't come over yet. So it always touched me that I was able to sing that song.
My name is Jane Gorman. I've been in the choir for 36 years, and I have so many memories of being in this choir. But I have to say, if I think of one, it's actually recurring memories about conductor-chorister relationships, mostly with Lydia, because she was conducting most of that time, but then recently with Kathleen. They're both fantastic conductors. I feel so blessed to have been part of time with them. But the memory that I have recurring is during a concert when you know your music and you're looking up and you just get that connection with the conductor. They trust that you know the music, you trust that they're going to lead you the right way, and it's just all so wonderful. A great way to get the endorphins pumping.
And my favorite memory is also a little embarrassing. It was the first time I had been involved in singing in a wonderful concert with Amadeus, and we were doing the Mahler second with the Toronto Symphony. You're silent for the first four movements, and the fifth, the Resurrection, is absolutely glorious. Lydia was not the conductor, Lydia Adams, but was in the audience. At the end of the performance, she stood at the bottom of the stairs, and after such a glorious place to sing, coming down the stairs, Lydia standing there, without even thinking, I went over and hugged her with all my might, crying my eyes out, saying, Lydia, I love you. And that was, I had never had that experience of being completely and utterly overcome by the beauty of a piece of music, and that we could think you could actually be a part of creating that kind of beauty was more than I could take at the moment. So that's my favorite moment.
So 10 years ago, Christine and I met in a choir, and this past summer we just got married.
3 years ago, we joined the Amadeus Choir, and when we were putting together our wedding ceremony, we wanted music to be a big part of it. So we put together a choir, and it was made up of about half of Amadeus Choir members, and it meant a lot just to have part of this community as part of our special day.
We did a concert at the Science Center, and with Dr. Roberta Bondar, and Lydia wrote a piece that we did, and in the middle of it, Dr. Bondar recited poetry that she had written when she was in space. And during that time, in the background, there was a movie running of the shuttle taking off, and it was one of the most powerful moments I've ever had with the choir. It was really something.
Hi, I'm Dr. Roberta Bondar. The Amadeus Choir is celebrating its 50th anniversary. What a milestone. I would like to congratulate all of you on bringing the sweet music to those of us who are not in the choir, and those of us who've been able to participate in some of the activities through the years. Certainly, my photography, I try to help it sing, but it has to be given a voice. And you have given it a voice in many of the projects we have done together. Thank you so very much for including me and giving me the opportunity today of congratulating all of you. Not sure how many will be around in another 50 years, but you never know.
I have a very short memory of a wonderful tour that we took in 2000 to Alberta, to Calgary and Edmonton, and a few of the towns south of Edmonton. And we sang a wonderful repertoire that included, I think, the Mozart Mass in C with Leslie Fagan and a number of other wonderful things. When we came to Drumheller, and I don't know if you know how hot Drumheller can be, it was stinking hot. And we were a bit nervous because it was so very hot. And we were going to sing, among other things, the Hubert Parry anthem, I Was Glad. And I think the audience was disappearingly small, so someone got some kids, some teenagers from a nearby college, summer college, to come and sit in the audience just to beef up our numbers a bit. And one or two choir members had to leave the stage because it was just too hot to sing, so they were up there too. Well, when we began preparing for I Was Glad, I remember thinking, I hope we get through this. It was so darn hot. Apparently, the kids in the audience were not terribly interested, but they listened to that very dramatic entry into I Was Glad. And then when we finally belted out, I was glad, one of the kids said, "Holy shit!" Well, to me, that was the best possible praise for the singing we were doing that day. And I know that those of you who were on that tour will remember how much fun we had. It was fabulous.
My name is Jean-Francois Roy. I'm one of the baritones, and I've been singing in the choir for 8 years. So many things that I love about this choir. I love the Celtic concerts. I love doing Messiah, and just the sense of community here. But I think my favorite moment in the choir was singing the Mahler Second with the TSO. I don't remember how long ago, but a while back. And just being on the top loft and singing my heart out in these beautiful lines of Mahler, just memorable. And I think that's the thing that I love the most about the choir is the mix of these really intimate moments like the Celtic and then these orchestral masterpieces that we get to participate in as well and sing out. So congratulations and many more years ahead.
This is my very first year, my third rehearsal, I think it is. And I'm pleased to say that years ago, I auditioned with Lydia Adams, and Joan Andrews was there. And that was a wonderful experience. I was accepted. And then life does things sometimes. So it wasn't going to work for me at that time. So fast forward to now, 2023, and I thought, you know what? If not now, when? Everyone has been welcoming and made me feel, part of the team.
My name is Robert Palmai, and I started this choir 50 years ago. I just want to tell you a little bit about the history of how it evolved. I was organist at St. Mark's United Church on Orton Park in Scarborough, Ontario, and we're having a wonderful time. And then several people in the choir thought, including people like Ann Parks and the Whitman family, thought we should probably expand into a community choir of sorts. And so they encouraged me to do that. And so we did. And we invited guest people and did some concerts with more challenging material outside of the church. I probably started in the church. And it grew. And I gave it the name Amadeus because my mother's favorite composer was Amadeus, and she was a piano teacher, and that's how I got my start in music. She and I used to play Mozart symphonies, four-hand piano transcriptions, before I even heard the symphonies on a record. So it was an obvious choice for me to name the choir Amadeus. And I was only there a few years, but I just can't believe what it has grown into, and I'm so proud of it and so thankful to everyone who has participated. And now you have a wonderful new conductor, and it speaks highly of the quality of this choir that she is with you. I have one apology to all the people that were in the choir in my early years, most of whom are now dead. I actually had the nerve to make the choir sing the first three movements of the Bach Christmas Oratorio. Nobody in their right mind would do that to a young choir. I did, because I liked the timpani solo at the beginning. Anyway, I'm glad that I'm still alive to talk to you like this, and all the best for the next 50.
In the year 2000, we had a tour out west because we were at Podium 2000, which is a big choral convention. And we were singing with the Edmonton Symphony at the time, and we were singing one of Cyril Irving Glick's pieces. And he was unfortunately he was ill and not able to come with us. He was doing stem cell therapy. And so somebody held the phone up, held their cell phone up so that he could hear the whole concert of his work. And that was a very special moment because we sang it for him.
My name is David King. My wife Carmen and I joined in 1980, and we had a great time doing many concerts. The first one was Mozart's Solemn Vespers, in which I was given the bass solo part. One of the highlights was doing Elijah with Gary Relier as the bass. And then in 1990, we had the children's chorus join us for Carols with Brass, and our daughter Julia sang the solo part in Once in Royal David City. So there are many, many memories, and I wish Amadeus all the very best in the future. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Caroline, and I was a chorister with the Amadeus Choir for 11 years and president of the board of directors for about 6, if my memory serves me correctly. Just to like to say a huge congratulations to the Amadeus Choir on their 50th anniversary. You know, I find that music is one of those things that transcends all other, you know, languages and everything. It's just part of the human experience, and some of my best memories are from the Amadeus Choir. One of my favorite memories actually is actually not music related. It involves apple pies. In my second year abouts, we did a fundraiser selling apple pies. And it was just so much fun because everyone got together, and you know, it was a way to get involved beyond just the music. And the Amadeus Choir really is a community, and you know, whatever you're going through, at the end of the day, you come into rehearsal and your spirits are lifted within 2 hours. So again, just congratulations on 50 years, and hopefully there'll be another 50 years at least.
I'm Bonnie Tepperman, and I've been in Amadeus for 30 years. My memorable experience was in the year 2000, the Amadeus went on a fabulous tour through the province of Alberta. It happened to be my 50th birthday, and on the bus going to one of our venues, the choir broke out into the song, Here's to Song. Here's to song, here's to time, here's to both with friends of mine. And it was a tribute to me on my 50th birthday. I will never forget it. It was such a memorable day.
I'm getting older now, and I can't quit. Even though I live in Hamilton now, I just love the people in this choir, and everybody's so supportive, and I've made so many good friends. Yeah.